What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the boundlessly boisterous Dr. Disaster, and I found Season 2 of The Last of Us TV show to be extremely satisfying. Not because it was a good show or anything like that, quite the opposite. The Last of Us 2 is one of my least favorite stories in the history of video games, and the audience for the show let Naughty Dog know just what they thought of this awful tale.
You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid, no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell.
We tried to tell the idiots who defended The Last of Us 2 that yes, people bought the video game, so it did sell well, but we rejected this shit afterwards. But the defenders would not listen, and now we have proof that we were right. The Rotten Tomatoes scores for the second season of the show took a nosedive down to 37%. The Metacritic score is at a 3.8 out of 10, and to top it off, the viewership crashed and burned. The Season 2 premiere had 5.3 million viewers, but that fell to 3.7 million viewers by the season finale, which is a terrible look for the show. It turns out that killing off Joel, the heart and soul of the franchise, had consequences. Views were down 55% from the previous season's finale.
That was crazy. Now the crowd's turning on you, and that sucks.
All that said, though, the critics out there, all the journalists, are just utterly out of touch with what the general audience thinks about stuff like The Last of Us 2, which is why, of course, that game won the Game of the Year award at the Game Awards back in 2020. Clearly the people that select for these awards, and for that matter, the people that win these awards, just have really shitty opinions on what makes good entertainment.
What? I love garbage.
And that is why this is some news that just dropped. Bella Ramsey, the walking, talking potato, has been nominated to win an Emmy for Best Actress for the work that Bella did in The Last of Us Season 2. And to be honest, looking at this headline, I don't know what's more confusing. Is it the fact that someone thought that Bella's work was good?
So, we're having a baby. I'm gonna be a dad.
That was so terrible, I think you gave me cancer!
Or is it more confusing that this headline celebrates the fact that Bella Ramsey is non-binary, and yet Bella was nominated for a Best Actress award? If the potato is genderless, then what the hell is they/them doing accepting a nomination for a gendered award?
What the hell are you saying? I don't know!
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I've begun uploading some content onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too. And also, give me a follow over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to my account at all times for your reference, and naturally, The Last of Us 2 belongs on that list. But anyhow, let's talk about this absolutely ludicrous nomination for an Emmy that Bella Ramsey just received. This headline here is from one of the worst publications in existence today. I completely despise Rolling Stone, and this headline is a prime example of why that is. Bella Ramsey becomes first non-binary person to earn 2 Emmy nominations. I mean, how desperate do you have to be for firsts in order to run this headline? Clearly, this shit will never stop. The first non-binary person to get 2 nominations. Next, they'll celebrate the first non-binary person to get 3 nominations. And then it'll be the first left-handed non-binary person to get a nomination, and then the first left-handed Asian non-binary person to get 13 nominations. They are so desperate to keep pushing this sort of garbage messaging out into the world, and that, of course, is a consequence of these people making their entire world revolve around the immutable characteristics of everyone they meet. But I will say this, the worst part of this article is not the headline, it's the writing. This crap where someone wants to use they, them as their pronouns for a singular person makes for some extremely confusing sentences. Let's read a bit of the article here so you can suffer with me. Bella Ramsey is making history for the non-binary community. On Tuesday, the non-binary actor earned a nomination in the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for their role in The Last of Us 2, and with the nod, they become the first non-binary person to earn more than 1 Emmy nomination. Like I say, is that really worth celebrating? Seems like we're really stretching here to try to find something to get excited about. It also seems like the people responsible for these nominations were really full of shit with this one. I mean, they were watching the same show that everyone else was watching, right? Ramsey is freaking awful in this show, particularly in the 2nd season. They tried so hard to make Bella seem like a badass, which, to be fair, that isn't actually Bella Ramsey's fault. Bella was horribly miscast in the role, and beyond that, it's just a very stupid storyline in the first place. But still, I don't know if I have ever seen a less convincing portrayal of a character in all my years watching movies and TV. I'm really racking my brain here, and I can't think of anyone whose performance took me out of a show more than Bella Ramsey did in The Last of Us Season 2. But let's read a little bit more. The article says here, Ramsey was first nominated in this category in 2023 for their role as Ellie in the show's first season. Ramsey has been very clear that gendered awards are very important, despite their non-binary identity. In an interview with Louis Theroux in May, the actor expressed how they wish there was an easy way around honoring people who don't conform to the gender binary, but I think that it is really important that we have a female category and a male category. And I gotta ask, why? Why is it important that we have a binary award category? If gender is so unimportant that people think they can just shed their gender whenever they want in their lives, then why would it be important for a gendered category to exist at an award show? It just doesn't make sense. But then again, maybe I'm searching for some semblance of logic in a madhouse. The big takeaway here, though, is that someone looked at this potatoes acting in The Last of Us and decided that it not only warranted praise, but it even warranted an award. And that level of insanity is extremely noteworthy. As I showed you before, the people have spoken when it comes to The Last of Us Season 2. Viewership cratered, audience scores on review aggregators tore the show to shreds. It is so bad that, as we talked about several days ago, Neil Druckmann seems to have been booted off the show and kicked back out into Naughty Dog's gaming studios. People can't stand what they saw on screen in The Last of Us Season 2, but that won't stop Hollywood from celebrating it nonetheless. If there's anything that these people live for, strive for even, it's shoving this gender identity crap down people's throats no matter how much we spit it out. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery and contempt of The Last of Us 2 into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.